The Nigerian Senate is meant to be a hallowed chamber of lawmaking, integrity, and national progress. But under the leadership of Senate President Godswill Akpabio, disturbing questions arise. Has this institution become a theater of misconduct, intimidation, and unchecked power? From his controversial past to recent allegations of bullying and disregard for democratic norms, Akpabio's conduct raises serious concerns.
You can go to your seat, then when you get to your seat, I will recognize you.
I sat next to Senator Kwankwaso until I was led by the sergeant at arms that this is my seat.
I asked the clerk whether he allocated that seat to you. He said he didn't.
He told me he would prefer to sit here. So I said there is no microphone there, but he said he will still prefer to sit there.
If there's been a senator that I've allowed to speak without a microphone, state. That's never happened in this chamber. All we said is there's no microphone where you are. Go to a place where there's one and you can speak. Now you have the floor. Speak and let us make progress.
I want to apologize to my colleagues if I raised my voice earlier, and to say that until the Senate is well reconstituted and the sitting arrangements well arranged, I want to hold my...
Today, we dive deep into his troubling track record, both past and present, exposing the patterns of behavior that have left many Nigerians questioning, is Akpabio a leader or a tyrant in the Senate?
In the 8th Senate, I have the video and I can send it to you. Senator Akpabio had a serious verbal exchange with the Senate President Bukola Saraki over change of Senate seat. He was not suspended. He was not investigated. The matter was handled with maturity. In the case of Natasha, it took a different dimension. Sat like the emperor that he claimed he is, and said the woman shall be suspended for 6 months, withdraw her security, stop payment of her salaries, not to be seen to close the National Assembly building, and even her aides should also lose their salaries. Far-reaching decisions. Even ordering the Inspector General of Police not to provide her with security. In another way, exposing her so she will be killed. When you withdraw somebody's security, which is unright, that means you are exposing that person to be killed. And I know the IG, you see the police for all of us. Nobody owns the police. The IG realized that that is not a good thing to do. Because if they heard tomorrow that Natasha is killed, something will happen that we don't pray it happen. Now, if Akpabio was not suspended for fighting with Saraki over change of his seat, why are you suspending Natasha for 6 months if only your motivation is because of change of seat? Secondly, Natasha went to court and she got a court injunction barring the Senate from investigating her until the substantive matter is heard. Senate went against the court judgment and suspended her still, even when there's an existing court judgment. That is contempt of the court. It was after they finished suspending Natasha that they went to court to vacate the court order barring them after contempt of court. And I'm sorry to use this word, cowardly, the judge, instead of arresting Akpabio for contempt of court, he vacated his own judgment that they broke. That's the pressure he was under. And instead for the judge to also go into the substantive matter, he recused himself.
Mr. President, do not, with due respect, link me to social media when I'm talking serious issues like this.
No,
I expect fairness in the Senate for everybody. Concessions are given to other people. I expect them to be given to me also when it is needed.
Senator Siraki Dixon.
Yes.
I watch you on television. You said no matter what this Senate does, the Senate will not have your vote on anything the Senate does. That's what you said on television.
We must have mutual respect for all of our colleagues, okay? And I do have regard for you, particularly as our presiding officer.
I appreciate
And I think that should be reciprocal.
There is nothing wrong in commending the government for Port Harcourt to be back on the stream. But Port Harcourt being back on the stream, what obtains? Is A standing for A and B standing for B? It is the technicality now we're talking about, so that we don't run for 1 month, 2 months, and then stories come up. But this is an information that I've given to the Senate for the Senate to work on. Verify it so that we move on. We shouldn't be, the tantalization is okay, it's enough. We must stand as representatives of the people, because whatever we do here, in as much as it does not provide the needed and required succor to the citizenry, it translates to nothing. So let the needful be done. Committee on Banking and Currency should look at this ways and means. So far, Central Bank has charged over 6 trillion on the interest on securitized instrument with debt management. The records are there. There are communications so far, correspondences between Public Accounts Committee and Central Bank of Nigeria. And of course, my Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, everybody here knows that.
You know our rules. These issues are not for just mere statement. Put something down and submit a report to the Senate for deliberation. Because if you make just a verbal accusation, you'll be talking like people in social media. So please, let's have your report on this. So
Mr. President,
we can take it up.
Mr. President, do not, with due respect, link me to social media when I'm talking serious issues like this.
No, I said your issues are so serious that they should not be just verbal. Did you hear what I said? I said the issues are so serious that it's not good for them to be verbal. Bring a substantive report or motion on it so that the Senate can take an appropriate decision. And then even mandate the committees on public account and the other relevant committees to go and look into the issues you've raised. For instance, the chairman of the Committee on Banking, and Senator Akpabio, I don't know where he's here. So we should be able to know if up to 6 trillion has been paid by the CBN. There are serious allegations that should not come verbally. They should come in writing, so that CBN will also have the opportunities to defend itself. But outside that,
Thank you very much. But if you have not forgotten, I have sent a document to your tax. This petroleum profit tax and what transpired between NNPC and Federal Inland Revenue Service, I sent a document to you more than 3 months ago. Nothing happened.
Okay, so go ahead and move your motion. But please start with slight apology to your colleagues for working out on them.
No, sir.
Then we have a problem there. If you are not humble enough,
I apologize to my colleagues for working out.
If you are not humble enough to apologize to your colleagues,
I apologize to my colleagues for working out.
Then you
now,
will move
added to that, my colleagues, I expect fairness in the Senate for everybody. Concessions are given to other people. I expect them to be given to me also when it is needed. I apologize if you did not like how I lost my temper, but I was expecting this to happen today.
Proceed to move your motion.
My apology again so bad. President, and my distinguished colleagues, my name is Senator Ireti Kingibe, representing the Federal Capital Territory. Note that the Federal Capital Administration, on the instruction of Honorable Minister of Federal Capital Territory, embarked on massive demolition of structures within the Federal Capital Territory. Also note that the demolition, according to the FCT authority, was informed by illegal structures and non-development of allocated plots of land by the FCT administration. Concerned that in recent time, the demolition exercise in the FCT is no longer based on reasons adduced by the FCT administration that necessitated the demolition. Further concerned that the current demolition in the FCT is not in line with due process of court orders to demolish. As such, a cross-section of individuals had suffered untold hardships occasioned by massive demolition, which has led to a loss of properties worth billions of naira. Also concerned that at the moment, an estate by name Messrs. Paulosa, for which late Colonel Paul Osankwanwa Okbebo is the chairman, is currently under revocation and demolition. And from reliable information, the said plot of land was allocated to him in 1984 with requisite title document. And further concerned that the owner of this estate was a patriotic Nigerian who served the nation meritoriously and one of the first intakes of the Nigerian Defense Academy, Kaduna, with registration number 001. Senate resolves accordingly to urge the FCT administration to halt the ongoing revocation and demolition of the said property, as it does not fall within the purview of the reasons for the massive demolition being carried by the FCDA. Also, all demolitions should follow due process. Second prayer. I so submit.
Thank you very
much. It doesn't stop your... It doesn't stop the motion.
Distinguished Senator Siraki Dixon.
Yes.
I watch you on television.
Mr. President, I have a point of order for which you have recognized me.
Listen to me now.
Yes.
Let's not argue. If we argue, it won't be good for any of us. We are all distinguished people. You are a former governor, I'm a former governor. Let us, please, off the mic, sit down. Please be seated. I watch you on television, and you said no matter what the Senate does, the Senate will never go with you. The Senate will not go with you. I said you said no matter what this Senate does, the Senate will not have your vote on anything the Senate does. That's what you said on television. I don't know, but I'm saying that if you have already made up your mind to go and talk on television when the Senate has not even considered any issue, I want to let you know.
To me, please.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm only saying, please allow me to preside. Allow me to preside.
Make my point for which...
Stand up and make a point.
Thank you, Mr. President. Please, we must have mutual respect for all of our colleagues, okay? And I do have regard for you, particularly as our presiding officer.
I appreciate
And I think that should be reciprocal. Now, the point of order, Mr. President, Henry Siraki Dixon, Bayelsa West. The point of order I rose to address is to draw the attention of the presiding officer and our colleagues to the specific provisions of our rules. Each one of us is guided by two documents: the Constitution of the Federal Republic, upon which we were sworn, and the rules that govern our proceedings. The proclamation has been read to us, and I wanted to draw your attention, Mr. President, respectfully, and the attention of all our colleagues, to the specific provisions of our rules. Order 135. The framers of this are very exhaustive. Once you say state of emergency declaration, there is a procedure.
Can you read 135?
Let me read it. Say, look, 133. When the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, by instrument published in the Gazette of the Government of the Federation, issues a proclamation of a state of emergency in the Federation or of any part thereof, he shall immediately after the publication, A, B, C, D. Now, since you have read it, now let me go to 135. The President shall, in a closed session, brief the Senate on the circumstances of the proclamation of a state of emergency.
Your point of order is upheld.
Thank you. So let's go to the closed session.
Please, he was about to move the motion for a closed session.
Thank you, sir.
In line with our rules. The rule is embedded in the heart of the Senate leader. He was about to move that motion.
Godswill Akpabio's tenure, both past and present, has been marred by allegations of misconduct, strong-arm tactics, and a blatant disregard for accountability. Whether it's the lingering shadows of corruption scandals or the recent accusations of turning the Senate into a personal fiefdom, one thing is certain: the Nigerian people deserve better. The Senate should be a place of service, not suppression. As citizens, we must demand transparency, integrity, and true leadership. What do you think? Is Akpabio unfit to lead the Senate? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.